It's a form of diabetes that's usually diagnosed in children and young adults. And we're talking to you about it because it is World Diabetes Day today. According to the Health Ministry, less than 5% of those with diabetes, or around 18,000 people, have type 1 diabetes. Now, with it being less common than its type 2 relative, doctors and patients are calling for more public awareness about the condition as we mark World Diabetes Day.
This is a pump.
Go Wee Hao was 10 when he felt tired and thirsty all the time. Checks showed he had type 1 diabetes. Since then, the 43-year-old has had to visit the doctor regularly to keep his condition in check. And it wasn't always a bed of roses, as Wee Hao faced other struggles after being diagnosed.
As a child of that age, you don't want to feel different from other children, and you know, most importantly, you don't want to be looked down upon. And so I did not share my diabetic condition with anyone.
The main difference between the two types of diabetes lies in a hormone called insulin, which helps the body use sugar for energy. Type 1 diabetics are born with the condition, and their pancreas naturally does not produce enough insulin. On the other hand, type 2 patients are unable to utilize the insulin effectively. However, a lack of awareness means there are still misconceptions.
The first one is that diabetes happens generally among older people or overweight people, and that's simply not true. The second thing is that type 1 diabetics can eat sweet things.
Lifelong insulin replacement is the only treatment for type 1 diabetes that's currently available. However, some patients tend to feel self-conscious when they go out and are seen injecting insulin with pumps or a needle and syringe.
They're not doing drugs. They're actually delivering a life-saving medication. Individuals with type 1 diabetes do not get diabetes just because they've eaten the wrong food. In fact, there's nothing that could have prevented the onset of type 1 diabetes, and so, they shouldn't be judged.
To dispel the myths, a children's picture book was launched in June this year. The Health Ministry is also working on more reference materials. It's also facilitating negotiations on the price of drugs and devices needed by patients. This will help increase their access to treatments to improve their quality of life.
As the number of diabetes cases rise in Singapore, healthcare providers are turning to technology and education to improve the way the condition is managed. And as we mark World Diabetes Day, Sheldon Seah finds out how they're making a difference to patients.
He's been living with diabetes for 30 years, but the turning point for Richard Ng came 5 years ago. The 74-year-old promised his doctor that he would adopt better lifestyle habits after multiple complications brought on by diabetes set in.
At that very moment, 5 years ago, I told him, okay, I will now focus on my diabetic, which is causing few big things that are happening. My eye, my kidney, and I've gone through a lot of surgery in my eye.
So Richard turned to technology to keep his condition in check. He uses a device and app which track his blood sugar levels throughout the day.
In between doctor's visits, in the past we never knew what our patients were doing, but with technology, the technology can help patient monitor his sugars, manage his condition, correlate his eating habits and his exercise with the sugar data he's got, independent of the doctor in between visits. For some of them, it has improved their control of diabetes and understanding of condition.
The push for patients to better self-manage their condition outside of the hospital or clinic also comes at a key time, with more people in Singapore living with the condition because of the aging population. Healthcare providers are now investing in education programs to better empower patients in terms of the literacy and habits. The National Healthcare Group, or NHG, has rolled out a group-based care program. It's to give patients and caregivers a better understanding of diabetes and the long-term care that's involved. More than 100 patients have signed up so far.
There are many patients with diabetes. Everybody do have their set of different problems. We do a one-on-one personalized journey whenever possible. Our care coaches also follow up with patients in different methods. Patients often don't come to us telling us, please educate us in a certain aspect, but we tease out as healthcare specialists and we feed them forward with the information they need.
We have to make friends with our same diabetic patient. Then we get more information how they go through. The most important thing is how also we have to take care so the diabetic don't go worse.
I wanted to how to reduce the reading, then put me to like what to eat, what type of fruits, what type of food, and what type of vegetable. So I take accordingly .
The initiative is currently available at the Woodlands and Yishun polyclinics. It will be gradually expanded next year to the other 5 polyclinics under NHG.